Sandra! Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button down below right here, right now, and don't forget to click on that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content anyway, if you find it any way useful, helpful, or insightful. If you don't know, I am Sandra Belling, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. I have got my window open today because it's in the UK and it's really sunny here. So I do live near a train station, so I apologise in advance if there is any background noise. So today's topic is quite how I feel at the moment. So what happens, what do you do when the shit hits the fan and you feel like an emotional wreck? Okay, what do you need to do? Okay, so there are certain things that have been happening in my life lately that I haven't been telling you about on this channel, because obviously I don't say everything on this channel, despite the fact I say most things on this channel. And so there's been stuff to do with financial stuff that's kind of like tricky and upsetting. That's kind of like a potential problem at the moment, but you know, everything's okay right now, but I can't say too much. And then relationships and dating in the asexual world, that's been very difficult lately. And so basically everything's like just stressed me out because things are not going, I guess, as well. I believe that everything happens for a reason, so I'm going to put some positivity out there already, right? But things have happened in terms of like personal circumstances and relationship and dating stuff that it's not been great, right? And it's been very upsetting in a lot of ways for me. And today I was crying quite a lot earlier. As you can see now, I'm fine as possible, right? But I've changed my attitude and everything, so I'm a lot better now. So this is what I want to help you on. So what do you do when the shit hits the fan and you feel like an emotional wreck? Like maybe your jobs or careers not going the way you want it to. Maybe you can't find the right asexual person for you. Maybe, you know, you've got bills coming in and you need to pay money out for things, but you haven't got enough money coming in. Maybe, you know, someone you really liked, you know, wasn't quite into you. Maybe, you know, you had to end a relationship, or maybe you never started one in the first place. Maybe just like you feel like you're going too slow with your life goals. Maybe it could be any number of things, or most likely if you're feeling like an emotional wreck, it's going to be something that's really close to your heart, that's pulling on your heartstrings. And, you know, you might feel like everything's just like, you know, it's just like coming on top of you. You're really stressed. You're really upset and in pain. Right. First of all, you have to allow yourself to be upset, to cry, to let that emotion out. Because if you keep all that emotion in, the negativity literally bleeds your soul. So by keeping all the negative emotions in, by being in control of the situation like that, that's not actually healthy. It's really, really bad for you. Do not do that. Do not want to be these people who can't show their emotions or can't let their emotions out, because that is actually a path to self-destruction, right? You don't want to be doing something like that, right? You want to be letting your cry out. Even if you're sat there for a couple of hours crying, like earlier today, I was crying quite a bit, right? You know, and it was really, really difficult for me. And, you know, things have gone on which, you know, haven't been easy. And it's been really upsetting for me. Yeah. And it's not just one thing, it's a combination of things. And it's been really, really, really difficult. Like, it's been a difficult couple of months, I think, you know. And some things have been absolutely awesome. But then, you know, there's some things that have happened recently in the last few days that just all piled on top of me, and it's like, whoa, now what do I do, right? So I think what you have to do is obviously let all the cry out, let the upset, but don't, you know, you don't want to be in that state forever. So have a good couple of hours crying, half a day crying, whatever you need to do, right, to get all those negative emotions out, right? You want them out of your body, out of your soul, dispelled, gone, right? Because you want to make way for lots of happiness and love and light to come back into your life, right? You don't want to stay in a dark place, an upset place, an unhappy place. You also have to distance yourself if you can do, from the sources of negativity or the sources of upset and pain. Maybe, you can't do it permanently. For example, obviously, if it was a family member, a relation, a friend or something that had upset you, then, if you want to remain friends with them, if it's part of your family, for example, then you have to, I haven't, by the way, my family's all cool, but I'm just giving this as an explanation, right? And an example. But, if it is a family member or relation or someone that you feel you still want in your life, then obviously, you've got to just take time out and away from that situation. So it doesn't have to be a permanent thing unless you want it or need it to be. You can just remove yourself from a situation temporarily, right? Until you've got up over that upset, grief, pain, until you're in a better state, right? If and if you go back to that position with that person, it doesn't work, then obviously you have to reassess the situation, because you have to look after you now, number one, when you're in pain, upset, and all that sort of stuff. So it's really important that you maintain your own health and well-being as much as possible. So get all the cry out, get all the negativity out, get yourself into a better place. Like, switch off from social media, don't go on it for a while, especially if the person, people, or the situation is going to be exacerbated by social media. You need to stay off it for a while. If other people are coming to you with their problems, you're not going to be in a fit state to deal with them yourself at the moment. So you have to say, look, my head's not right at the moment, I'm really sorry, I can't give you the best advice at the moment. Because obviously I'm sought after for quite a lot of advice, but if my head's not in a good place, I have to say to the person, my head's not in the right place to advise you now, because I want to help them out the best I can, but I can't do that unless I'm coming from a good, healthy, happy, fulfilled place. I'm doing this YouTube live stream earlier than I usually do because I want to get on with other stuff later on, just to keep my mind occupied, and chill out a bit, right? So I decided to do my live stream at a different time to what I usually do. And so I think that's what you've got to do first. Okay, so to recap, you've got to let all the cry out, let the upset and pain out. You don't want any negativity in your body, just expel it, let it go. Please let it go. Do not be one of these people, traditionally society teaches men to keep their emotions in, doesn't it? This is really bad. This is the modern day 21st century. There's no guy who should be bottling their emotions up thinking it's really super great to be in control. You're not in control if you're bottling your emotions up. You're actually being an unempathetic person towards probably other people, because you're unempathetic towards yourself. You've got no sympathy for yourself, so you haven't got any sympathy for anyone else. And you're that focused on control that you never express emotions to people and caringness. You've got, it's better to let it out than keep it in. And keeping it bottled up is not going to do you any good. It's going to make your body ache, your cells ache, your well-being, and you have lots of pain in your joints and stuff like that. Like, I've got fibromyalgia, and I know a lot of pain from fibromyalgia is made worse by emotional pain and upset. Emotional pain and upset just causes a lot more pain in the body, and you don't want that. So you want it being expelled as much as possible. Yeah, stress, anxiety, all worry, it just builds up. So you have to keep yourself on an even keel as much as possible, and try and refrain from getting as upset as much as possible. When you do get upset, just let it all out, because it's going to be over and done with a lot quicker. If you don't let your emotions out, you're going to go for 5 days feeling like crap, excuse my language, but you are. Right? So you've got to just literally get it all out, right? There's no big macho thing about keeping it in. It's not good. It's very unhealthy to do that, right? So you need to cry in order to let that situation, let that circumstance go in that moment in time. Distance yourself from the thing or things as much as possible. Like, sometimes you can't distance yourself. You have to deal with it. It might be ongoing issues, right, that you have to deal with. But you need some time out from it. So don't focus on it all the time. Take time out from it, and do other things and other stuff. So this is what I'm coming on to next, about what you have to do now. So if you've got a lot of emotional upset, pain, and especially if it's to do with financial, obviously you need to try and start budgeting, start looking at your finances in greater detail, start thinking what you can cut, start thinking if you can sell anything, start really honing down on stuff. It's going to be hard, because you're going to kind of feel like you're being backed into a corner a bit, and that's going to put some pressure on you. but you just have to think that everything happens for a reason, that you can deal with anything that comes in your life. You have to have a really positive mental attitude. You can deal with absolutely anything that comes in your life, anything, right? Anything. You will survive, you will get through it, and you will be okay. You have to have this mindset. No matter what happens, you have to have this mindset categorically. Even though you might not feel like it, you have to train your brain to be like this. Repeat after me, you know, I will get through this. I will be okay. I will get through this. I will be okay, right? So basically, and then what else should you do? So you need to take time out for you. You need to spend time with yourself, and you need to reconnect with your heart. You need to reconnect with your heart, and you need to be thinking about what a beautiful, magnificent, gorgeous person you are. Like, even if you feel like a nervous wreck, even if you feel like crying, you have to reconnect with your heart. Because when you reconnect your heart, you reconnect with your soul, you reconnect with who you are, and you remember who you are. You know, every time you connect your heart, put your hand, you know, you should be, oh, I don't think you can see what I'm doing because I'm on the screen here, but you know, you should be connecting to your heart, like literally putting your hand on your heart and reconnecting to it. You know, there's a lot of love that's coming, should be coming from your own heart for you, right? So do that, you know, connect with your heart. I hope you can see it like me all right now, you know? So put your hand on your heart and connect with it, right? Connect with it. Go back to your soul, right? Remember who you are. Reconnect with your heart. It's so important, right? And once you've reconnected to heart, you know, you should be able to feel, if you put your hands on your heart like this, you should be able to feel love, right? Feel in this moment the love you have for yourself. Just close your eyes, hand on your heart, feel the warmth, and just literally take a deep breath in and out. And again, a deep breath in and out. And so do some breathing to try and calm the body and the mind down and connect with your heart. You know, your heart, your hand on your heart should feel like a warm comfort in place, you know? You have to get back to self-love. You know, you have to realize that, say it was a relationship problem. Say you've split up with someone, or you wanted to be with someone, they didn't want to be with you, or you know, maybe someone died, or maybe a relationship died, or maybe a friend died, or maybe a friend's just gone away, maybe a pet you lost and stuff like this, whatever it is. Or maybe, you know, it's just simply that, you know, things aren't right for you to have a relationship now with maybe the person you want to be with, or, you know, it could be anything, right? And it's so important to like know that everything happens for a reason, right? But you need to get back into self-love. You need to focus on yourself and your own being. So go out for a walk and literally love yourself. So when you come out the shower, I do this. When I come out the shower, I do come out naked. I look at myself in the mirror and I literally tell myself how beautiful I am. I'm like, I love your hair. I love your smile. I love your body, Sandra. I think you're gorgeous. And I will say this to myself. And this is a real confidence boost, you know? I don't do this to come from a place of ego, right? I still, you know there's other people who are good, really good looking, right? I don't go around going, oh, I'm the bee's knees for everyone. But I go around with confidence thinking, yeah, you're beautiful, Sandra. You know, you've got beautiful smile, beautiful hair, beautiful body, beautiful eyes, you know, all that's good about you. And I think it's really important to list the things that are good about you. You know, I do refer to my body parts as well when I'm naked, right? Because I've used that to build my confidence up. So it's really important when you come out the shower, you know, if you don't like your body, get used to it. Make yourself look at yourself in the mirror. I wasn't used to doing that, right? Years ago, I was a bit like, you know, I wasn't as keen on my body. I didn't really pay it much attention. But now I do. Now I don't even have to force myself. But in the beginning, I had to put myself in front of the mirror and say, you know, lots of positive affirmations about myself. Positive affirmations are something that's in the present tense. So with me, it'd be like, oh, you've got gorgeous hair, Sandra. You've got a beautiful smile, Sandra. You look beautiful, Sandra, you know? And these positive affirmations really help grind, you know, in the mind, good things about yourself. So, you know, I have lots of positive affirmations over my mirror, like I'm determined to succeed, I'm successful, I'm amazing, you know? And I think it's really important you do this. You list all the positive affirmations down around your mirror and you say them out loud, because when you say them to yourself in the mirror, they're more likely to get stuck in your brain, you know, because you can see yourself saying them to yourself. So it's really important. It's really important that you do love your body. You know, if you've had some body issues in the past, which I know some asexuals have, you know, it's really important that you love your body no matter what shape and size you are. So do, you know, make references to your body, say how beautiful your body is, you know, praise yourself, love it, you know. And the more you get used to your body, if you do become in a relationship with the right person down the line, even if the people that are around you maybe not want a relationship now, or something's gone wrong, or it's not right, you know, if you get used to your own body, you'll be much more comfortable and confident with another person that comes along, right, in the future. So you have to be thinking as well as looking to the future. It's no good looking to the past, even if it was like 5 minutes ago, right? You're going to grieve, you're going to be upset, you're going to be in pain, maybe. Like I said, you know, you have to get all that cry out first and that negative emotion, but then you need to just love yourself, you know, put clothes that makes you feel gorgeous, you know, like so I mean, I like this on me, you know, I like this t-shirt on me, I like this skirt on me, I think it looks really nice, I love my hair and my eyes. So I've just like been out for like a little walk around the block, and you know, it made me feel better. And when you do your hair nice and you put on beautiful clothes that make you feel good about your body, about your appearance, about your looks, you know, and you do it for yourself, and that's really, really good. So you really need to go back, connect with your heart, and then, you know, do you know, when you go out, just dress for yourself, dress to make yourself feel gorgeous and beautiful, and talk to yourself like you're beautiful, you're kind, considerate. Because I think when something's happened, the shit hits the fan, you can start feeling really down on yourself, really upset, really in pain, really anxious, really nervous, really like, what the hell's going on right now? And you know, life is full of ups and downs. You have to understand that whenever there's light, there's dark. So if you're going to have really good times, you're going to have really shite times as well, right? And you've got to understand that these times will pass, even though they might hurt right now, even though you might feel like, I just want to collapse on the bed and I just want to curl up in a ball, you know. These times will pass, and you've just got to remember that there isn't any light in the world without darkness, you know. In the darkness you can see the stars, right? And then you have to, once you've done the grieving process of the crying, the negative let the emotion out, you've talked to yourself, you're giving yourself self-love, you connect with your heart, you've appreciated your body and your mind. You know, it's really important to tell yourself about mind, like start doing positive talk, like say you are gorgeous, you are beautiful, you know, you're successful, you're amazing. Tell yourself, even if you don't believe it, you need to be telling yourself this, right? Because you need to reprogram your mind for positivity now, especially when you've been upset. You need to reprogram that mind as soon as possible, right? So you don't go off on the train of downward spiral into depression, right? You don't want to be doing that, right? You want to be telling yourself all the positive stuff about yourself. And then you need to move on to the other stage, right? Which is looking at all the opportunities that are coming your way, right? Because whenever one door closes, or some doors close, maybe they're not fully closed yet, but maybe they've closed to a certain extent, right? In that moment, you know, you need to be looking at the other doors that are open, all the opportunities and all the pain and suffering or bad things about that situation that have gone or that are temporarily not there. You know, obviously, if it's an ongoing financial situation, then that's a bit difficult. You have to, like I said, make a budget, check all your finances, see what you can do without, try and sell some stuff. Just, you know, like you have to try and do practical stuff as well. So if it's like financial, housing, all that stuff, you have to try and do practical stuff, like practical things. If it's to do with relationships, a lot of the time it's very much more emotional, right? And I live near a train station, sorry about the train noise, and the you know, it's very much about emotion. So if it's to do with a relationship breakup, or you know, maybe you felt rejected by someone, maybe you're just like, something didn't work out the way you wanted it to, you know, that's very much more emotional pain, and you have to look after yourself in a slightly different way. Like you have to look after yourself practically, like make sure you have a shower, make sure you get dressed up and go out. Don't stay indoors all day, even though you feel like crying, you know. I mean, maybe you might want to, if you're really, really that bad, you might want to stay in for a day and literally cry and watch movies all day, because you're making yourself feel good by watching the movies and taking your mind off things. But you need to be going out. You can't stay in. The more you stay in, the more things will just creep up. And one of the things I want to say before I go on to all the other stuff is that you need to give out love to other people. So it's a bit counterintuitive. You might be feeling absolutely rubbish yourself, right? But one of the best ways of making yourself feel good is being generous, kind, loving, and caring towards other people you don't even know. Obviously, I'm not talking in an intimate way. I'm talking about just in a everyday situation. So I went out around the block, and in the UK today is a voting day, right? So I went around the block, and for example, there was this woman in front of me. she started talking to me in the queue when we were waiting to vote about stuff about her children and stuff. She had really nice eyes, and so did her daughter, like nice blue eyes. Now, I'm not attracted to women, but I noticed her particular blue eyes, and I thought I want to pay a compliment because it's good for me. If I'm paying other people compliments, it makes me feel good that I've made someone happy. So I just thought, oh, you and your daughter's not got nice piercing blue eyes, I meant that as a nice thing, And so they said, she said thank you, and then she started opening up and talking to me about other stuff. And then as I was coming back as well, I was walking back home, there was this old lady that came out of her house. And I looked at her because I thought maybe she needs some help with something. So I just said, are you okay? And she said, oh no, can you put this rubbish in the bin for me? She goes, I've done something on my bins and I can't put this rubbish in the bin. And it's recycling. So I said, fine, I'll do that for you. So I took it all my way back to my home and put it in the bin there. But I felt good that I'd helped an old lady, and I felt good that I talked to someone. You can express love, kindness, and caringness towards people without actually being in love with them, or without actually being intimate, or without actually giving people the wrong impression. I'm very good with boundaries and the way I do things, you know what I mean? And obviously they're the same sex type of thing. Obviously, if you're doing stuff with the opposite sex and the opposite gender fancies you, it can be misconstrued. So you've got to be a bit careful about that. But in general, just be polite, kind, nice, caring, all that type of thing, and give love out. If you see someone's upset and in pain, offer them a shoulder to cry on. Obviously, if you are in pain yourself and you're not up to doing that, then you can't, right? You have to take care of yourself first. So you would have to distance, maybe, like if you get a text message from someone, say I'm upset, if you're in a mind to deal with that because you've gone into a place of like, I'm giving love out now, I'm okay to help other people, that's fine, but don't do it when you're in the stage of grieving, when your head's just all over the place and you can't help anyone. So you help yourself first, you grieve, you get the cry out, you help yourself first, you self-love, and only then can you start giving to other people. But just by giving a little bit of love or care to other people, it can make you feel better about yourself, right? And you have to remember, whatever happens, like, you haven't lost that caringness and kindness and love yourself just because, like, maybe something's gone wrong financially and things haven't gone the way you wanted to in life. Doesn't mean to say you're a bad person. If you feel rejected by someone or relationship didn't work out for some reason, doesn't mean to say that there's anything wrong with you or that you're bad or that anything's you just have to start thinking of the positives now, and of the optimism, like that. If that person felt you weren't right to be for them in a relationship, you have to accept that. But obviously, if they've done wrong to you, it's a kind of a different story. You just have to think it's their loss. If they want to be like that, then that's their issues, their problems, right? Depends on the circumstances of how it ended, right? Or if it didn't even start. So you have to look at all the positives, like the optimism and stuff. So for example, with me, I have something called relationship anxiety, so if I've actually got anyone that's interested in me back, then my anxiety levels go through the roof. And recently there was a person that I liked more than a friend, and they liked me more than a friend, but that's it. It can't nothing else can happen, right? But because I get relationship anxiety, even the fact that they liked me back like put my anxiety levels up sky high. And because I kind of like, well, it just did. I'm not going to go into details, but it just really did. And so now everything's like, well, nothing can happen more than friendship wise. Then it's kind of like a positive in the sense that I haven't got the relationship anxiety anymore, because there's no potential relationship there anymore, if you know what I mean. So that's gone. I'm not saying there's not other anxieties and worries, but that's gone. Do you know what I mean? So that's a really, really good and positive thing. And so what else is good and positive? So like if you, like, for example, now there's what can I say, there's I went on my asexuality.com, which is a dating profile, and I got a friend because I got a friend request on there, and it's from this British guy. Like, until I had the last relationship that didn't work out, that I was really upset about, but now I'm kind of getting over. It's kind of like, I said in my profile that I would consider being with a British guy, which I wouldn't consider before. And like, this guy friend requested me on asexuality.com, and he's actually British, around the same birth certificate age as me. So already, even though like I just said I liked a friend, they liked me more than a friend, but nothing can happen. Like even that's all I'm saying. But even though that's like not happening, there's other opportunities now because this guy. I need to stay single at the moment, right? Don't get me wrong. I need to stay single, right? When you've become a nervous wreck and your emotions all over the place, that you don't want to be getting into another relationship. If you've had a relationship problem or rejection or a relationship breakup, you don't want to be getting with anyone else, right? You just don't. Even if your brain might kind of think it, you don't want to be doing that, right? It's not good. So you need to recognize that and be firm with yourself. But it's nice that there's another guy straight away that's like on asexuality.com that says, oh, I like your profile. So if one person comes into your life and like the last person that came into my life that ended, there'll always be someone else that will come into your life that could be the right person for you. And if you're with the wrong person in a relationship, you're never ever going to meet the right person. So you have to be grateful and thankful that that person set you free or never took you up on the offer in the first place or wasn't suitable for you, right? You have to be really, really happy that that's the case. Overall, you have to be really, really happy about that, really, really glad. And so even if it hurts at the time, you have to just like obviously get on with your life and look forward to the future. Because if it's been decided that there's no go, it's no go, isn't it? So you just move on to other potential people, and but don't do it in the actual sense of actually going for anything, because you can't. But you can be open to like see opportunities in front of you. Just seeing them, knows you've got other options, do you know what I mean? And thinks, well, if someone don't want to be with me, it's fine, because there's other options out there, people who will value my worth and think, oh, we're gonna be with her possibly, do you know what I mean? And that's really important, because you only get one life, and you don't want to be on your deathbed thinking, oh, I haven't, like I missed an opportunity, or I didn't like see opportunities in front of me because you were busy having clouded judgment, or you weren't clear on what you wanted, or something just happened and you shied away from it and made you feel like like going into your shell forever and a day, do you know what I mean? So so on asexuality.com I got this message from this British guy, and he's like, I liked your profile, and he's like around the same birth certificate age as me actually, but he does look like he's in his 20s, so he looks like really much younger than he would normally be. He's got facial hair, though I don't like facial hair. So that was really nice to receive that message. It wasn't like anything I really fancy. It was just like, I liked your profile, and also he wants to talk to me about asexuality, so a lot of it's just practical stuff, but it's still nice, isn't it, to have someone else talk to me. And then I had a guy on Facebook, Indian guy. I feel like Indian guys are my little angels. I have to tell you this, like, that I've always thought my soulmate's Indian, and seen as nothing else has worked out for me in the British guy department. I think I'm more swayed to like foreign guys always overall, and I feel like Indian guys are my little angels. I think I've been with an Indian guy in my past life, if I'm honest. I've always said I've got an Indian soulmate, and I think I knew him in past life, because when I'm upset and in pain, like, Indian guys tend to just show up in my life again. And so I had this Indian guy on Facebook, but he was no good, because he was the one who I thought was married the other day. I mentioned him in a video, and he's in India anyway, and he's going, oh, I'm looking for a lady. I said, well, you're married. I told you, you've got a beautiful wife. And he goes, I'm not actually married. I'm single. That's just a picture of a famous person in my country. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know that? And like, if you're going to lie about it, it's no good anyway. I don't want a guy who's lying, and I'm in the UK. I want someone in the UK. So that was kind of the end of that, but it was still nice that he was interested in me. And then I was like, I couldn't believe it. I went on ASAP, like, in the early hours of this morning, because I was really upset about something, and I couldn't believe it. Like, there's this Indian guy who's gorgeous, right? 22 years old, stunningly beautiful, like the look I like, thin, short dark hair. He's not clean shaven actually, beautiful smile, suit, and 22 years old, heteromantic, asexual Indian guy in the UK. I couldn't believe it. And he messaged me first on ASAP. But the sad thing is as usual, he's not staying in this country. He's just over here for study. He's finished his final exam. I think he might stay on and do a PhD. But I was talking to him about my meetup, so he might come to meetups. It's possible I could get to meet him in person. But he's still here for 3 months doing a dissertation. But I can believe it. I thought, that's a golden opportunity, isn't it? Now I know that, I haven't got anyone else like seriously interested in having a relationship with me at the moment. And, it frees me up to be with possibly with someone else, you know? And so I think it's really important that you realize, you know, that just because maybe things can't go ahead with someone else, or things don't work out the way you wanted them to. Like, obviously I was with a British guy last month, it didn't work out. I was really, really upset about that. So that's been taking me a while to work through those emotions. And then recently, yeah, a friend like me, I like them more than a friend, but that's no go. So like, you can feel a bit like disappointed, but I think it's really important to know that those people aren't right for you. You know, if they were right for you, they'd be telling it, they'd be there for you, they'd be there. Like, they wouldn't leave you, they wouldn't not want to be with you, they wouldn't stop loving you, they wouldn't not love you in the first place. You know, like, obviously a friend's very different to like the guy last month. You know, the guy last month don't love me anymore, that's fine, I'm cool with that. You know, now I'm like, wish him the best, you know. um and then with a friend, obviously it's, you know, like, some friends are just meant to stay friends, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? So but it can be very difficult, obviously, if you like a friend and they like you, because obviously you've got the friendship side of it and you've got that side of it. um so that can be quite hard. But you got to remember, like, I've gotten, you know, now I'm open to other offers, other opportunities, other people. I can enjoy my single life again, in my mind, because obviously I think when you thinking of someone else and being in a relationship with someone else, your mind literally isn't focused on being single anymore, is it? It's focused on them, or your life would be like with them, or what your life is like with them. It's focused on the future with them. It's focused on doing the best for them, making sure they're really happy because you love them and you care about them, making sure that, you know, they're in your life daily, and just really you change your life for them. Even, you know, like, even if you're thinking about considering being in a relationship with someone, I know I do, I kind of change my whole mind around the way I think, my you know, and I will gear my life more towards them. Even if I'm not actually started to be in a full relationship with them, I will start to gear my life towards them. I will start to think about them more, care about them more, love them more, really want to be with them more. And I think, you know, like, you know, like, I think, you know, once your mind's gone there, it's harder to get it back. So what you have to do is then, once that's not happening, or in the case of like the British guy split up, then you kind of have to revert back to thinking as a single person again, as a solo artist of life. And you have to think of all the positive things, like, more self-dating, more self-love, more time to yourself, more time to work on your projects, more time to just breathe, more time to focus on yourself, more opportunities. You know, it's like, if I go out dancing now, you know, I can dance and kiss who I want. You know, like I said, there's a guy on Asexuality who's already started talking to me, guys on ASAP who started talking to me straight away. So it's not like there isn't other opportunities out there, possibly, but it doesn't mean to say the right person for me. But do you know what I mean? It like opens up all the opportunities, because when one door closes, another door opens. And I really believe that. I believe everything happens for a reason, you know. And you need to find, you know, for any relationship, you need to find the right person for you, the person that wants to be by your side pretty much. Like, I mean, obviously it's not practical to be by your side 24/7, but in theory, you know, could be spend the rest of their life with you and could be happy with you all as much as possible, you know, and want you by their side all the time. It'll be strong for you and know that it's you they really want, and that everything's going to be awesome and good in the end. So, you know, I think you have to look at the favor people did you by letting you go, the favor people did you by realizing you're not the one for them, you know. Because if they let you go and they ultimately really truly believe heart and heart that you're not the person for them, then they've set you free to know, to find out and be with the person that can love you, that will love you. And in the meantime, you just have to give yourself utter self-love, you know, utter self-love. You really do. It's so important for your soul. And, you know, I just think it's so important that you don't have any regrets in this life, you know, and that everything you try and use as a learning experience, even if people might think you're silly to have done certain things in the first place. People might, you know, think you're hugely risky. Like last month, you know, I took a risk on a guy that didn't work out. It did cause me a lot of upset and pain. But, you know, in life, I think if you don't take some risks in life, sometimes you never know, you know, you never know. Like if I hadn't have taken a risk with that British guy, I would never even consider being with a British guy, ever. I wouldn't have learnt that lesson that it is possible for me to be with a British guy. I still think I have an Indian soulmate I knew in a past life, but maybe I'm not meant to be with him in this life. You know, maybe my soulmate in this life, someone different. Who knows? He might even be British. You know. But it's like, yeah, it's like they're little angels. Like Indian guys just pop up when I'm upset, and they're just there to talk to. Like the guy I just connected with. You know, I was telling him that I was telling him that the truth about, that I thought I had an Indian soulmate, and that I stopped having that idea. I just, like, when I met the British guy last month, I just, like, stopped that idea. Like, I don't need an Indian guy anymore. And that was the first time I've quit on the idea of being with an Indian guy. But I knew as soon as I saw his picture that it's like, wow, that's the type of guy I'd love to be with aesthetically. I don't know I don't know him as a person. And it reminded me of the fact that, I've always thought I've got an Indian soulmate, but I kind of feel like I have to let that go, in the sense that, maybe I'm not going to meet him in this life. Maybe it was a past life and I'm living this one now. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I kind of had to let it go. But, I know I have got an Indian soulmate somewhere in the world, really. But I just feel like, I have to move on with my life. If I just keep going over and over being with an Indian guy, it doesn't give me much options. But then sometimes you've just got to go with what you really think and want, haven't you? You know what I mean? Even if the opportunity doesn't look like it's presenting itself at the moment, it might do in the future. So, yeah, I still think I've got something soulmate stuff with Indian guys. I don't know what it is. It just pop up in my life when I'm upset, in pain, or in danger as well. Usually, like, I've been in situations out when I've been like had some like dangerous stuff, and they've just been there in the background, and I've been like, oh, I really appreciate that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's like a spiritual thing. But yeah, I was talking to this guy and saying, this Indian guy in the UK, saying, for once, I stopped thinking about being with an Indian guy. I quit on an Indian guy. But I told him the truth. I said, if you watch my channel or read my book, you'll know that I like Indian guys. I've always wanted to be with an Indian guy since 2014, so I may as well tell you that. If you decide you don't want to speak to me, yeah, I'm fine. But it was just really nice. I said, I can't talk to many people about this, but I need an Indian guy to actually talk about this with, because he'll understand me, and he did. He's actually a spiritual guy. So that was really nice. I think it's a shame he's going back to his country, if I'm honest. I'm like gutted. But it's just the way it is in life, isn't it? So near and yet so far. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean to say I would have been suitable for him or vice versa anyway, but yeah, so it felt, like, it does feel weird that I've, come to the conclusion it's possible to be with a British guy. But overall, I'm still much more aesthetically attracted in general to Indian guys and foreign guys. Like, I am overall. The individual case by case basis, it might be different. I mean, I can like find someone not that aesthetically attractive, and the more I get to know them as a person, the more I emotionally connect with them, I can be aesthetically attracted to them much more. So with British guy, I might not find him as attractive first of all, but then over time I could get to be really attracted to him through that deep emotional connection level, And so, I think it's really important that you just have people to talk to, friends, if you can talk to, if you're upset or in pain, you don't have to tell them everything. You can just say, I'm upset right now. But, to be honest, some of the stuff I've upset about today has been really private stuff, like details. So I can't really say much to anyone else. I just have to like be upset with myself. Like, do you know what I mean? There's certain things that are really private that you can't really tell other people much about. So, you just have to deal with it yourself. And if you can talk a little bit about things with your closest friends who you can confide in, then that's good. But if it's private between you and another person, then you need to keep it private, really, don't you? So I just think you've just got to put your best foot forward, plow into projects, activities, know that you are single. If it's a relationship breakup or something, I mean, it might just be that you're having problems in the relationship, but if it's an actual breakup or rejection or something didn't happen, things that go away plan, then you just got to put your best foot forward and think there's going to be other opportunities. There's going to be a person out there that's going to like be like, I don't want to lose you. You're my girl or you're my guy. Do you know what I mean? You're the one for me. And so I do believe there's someone for everyone out there. Absolutely everyone. I really believe that. And as much as I've got a lot of heartache and pain around relationships because I can't find the right guy for me, and the guy that I do think's right for me ends up not feeling right for me, then that's fine. I'm used to rejection anyway, because I'm not afraid of going on dating sites and like, if a guy's not interested, they're not interested. Don't write me back. They don't write me back. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you're in an asexual dating site, on asexual dating sites, on the asexual dating scene, relationship scene, you've got to be able to stick a lot of rejection, because not everyone's going to fancy you or want to be with you, or not everyone's going to feel you're suitable for them, and vice versa, And if a person's set you free or not going to be with you, or, like it's not going to work out, then that's for the best, that sooner rather than later. The last thing you want is to go down the line and do something you might regret. Do you know what I mean? You've got to keep your boundaries in place as well. I think it's really important that any situation, especially if it's relationships, that you do keep your boundaries. That if if you've got problem in a relationship, or you've had rejection, or you got something potential happening that can't happen for some reason, you've got to keep your boundaries. You haven't got, if you change your boundaries for that other person to get them and to keep them, it's not a good idea, right? You've got to keep your boundaries in place. You've got to keep your standards in place, because you've got to love yourself. If you keep your standards and boundaries in place, you won't feel violated. You won't feel used and abused. You'll just feel upset and in pain, right, for a bit. And then you'll move forward and get on with your life. You'll realize that person wasn't right for you in the first place, not in that way. You'll realize that there's other opportunities out there. There's other people that will be interested in you in that way. There's other people that there's probably one person or more that won't want to let you go in that way. And even if they're not forthcoming right now, even if say there's not people out there, then you just think, be blessed that you're single and having a good life. Like, as a single person, I do have a lot of self-love for myself. I have a lot of caringness, a lot of kindness and compassion for myself. I do love the way I look. I do love my personality, and I'm never going to stop being me. And I think it's important as well that when you start going out about to be with friends, go out and do activities that you enjoy, go and do things that make you really happy, to cheer yourself up. Like, I was already planning to go and see my friends at the weekend, my friend and her friend, so we're going out this weekend anyway, so I've already got that planned. But I had that planned before the shit really hit the fan. I was upset. I already had that planned anyway, but it's nice. So in a few days time, I'm literally going to be going out with two friends. We're going to have an amazing time. And all I've got to do now is think, well, I'm definitely 100% single, so I can dance with whoever I want, because we're going to see some live bands. I just got to think that I look good and be confident like I usually am. And that's what my advice would give to you. Like, go out, be confident, be energetic, be your vibrant, beautiful self, be your magnetic, awesome, gorgeous self. Love yourself implicitly. Put your best foot forward, get out and about, don't wither away. Finances are hard, then obviously you have to budget to go out, or try and go out somewhere that doesn't cost much money, like go out for a walk, invite a friend to a picnic or something, or get really low cost food out, like meal deals and stuff like that. Like, if you're doing self dating and you need to go out, you can go to things like, I go to things like Kids Club, which is like £2.50 in the UK a film, like half price films, like really cheap movies. Well, it's more than half price, £2.50. Mind you, they do a special day on a Monday, which is like £4.99. But Kids Club is £2.50, and it's like, yeah, it's money you're paying out that you're not exactly getting back, but it makes you feel really, really good, and it helps you recover quicker, so you can get on with more productive things, and it's a good thing for you. It's really important to increase your productivity. So in times of, once you've got all over the sort of grief, pain, upset, you're thinking more positively, you're giving yourself a lot of self-love, a lot of self-care, you're giving love out to other people, even if it's just verbally, or kind acts you're doing for people. And then you've realized the opportunities in front of you, the advantages of not being in that, moving away from that situation, of getting into a new one, all the positives. So say you've got to sell some items to pay for food, right? You kind of have to learn the art of detachment. It's really difficult, but it's good if you can do it, and just think that the things that you're letting go, they're not alive. And if you do get money back in the future, which you're going to, then you can buy those items again brand new if you need to, if you want to. But we have a lot of items in our wardrobes, in our cupboards and stuff, that we don't actually use, and that we can let go. And when you let go of like stuff from the past, and that actually brings a lot more positive energy into your life, and you make more space for new things in your life. So like you might clear through a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden you get like a huge this job that pays awesomely well, and you can buy fresh stuff again, stuff that you couldn't fit in before. Or maybe you get like presents from someone and you couldn't fit it in because you had all this stuff that you don't use anymore, that you actually got rid of. And it's tough sometimes, but learning the art of detachment is quite good. If you detach less from objects, you can try and then detach more from people, and know that your life will still be all right, and that you will be okay. And you've got to realize that what comes in goes out. And if you've got like a lot of negative situation in your life that's overflowing, the more negative energy you can release and chuck out, the better. Because you need positivity in there. Go and do things with friends that make you happy, with people that make you feel good about yourself. See the opportunities in front of you all the time. Work on your projects, work on your hobbies, work on things that you can really put your mind into, to take your mind off these situations as much as possible. If it's ongoing, like financial stuff, get some legal advice if you can, free legal advice if it's financial. Read some books, financial books, watch some YouTube videos on how to budget, cut down on things, and really try and just be in control of your life as much as possible, your own life. You can't control other people, right? So if other people have left your life, you have to think it's their problem, their issues, or they've set you free, they've done a really good thing for you, depends on what type of person they were. And you have to think that that's their issues. You cannot control what they do. It's their life as much as it is yours. So you have to just let them go and be happy with that you've let them go, or they've let you go. And you can move on to other things, and like I said, just think of all the positive stuff. Like if the situation has cleared up now, or resolved in any way, shape or form, if the person's just made a decision, or you've made a decision, then you can move forward. It's like a release, right? Because I mean, the person last month, I actually split up with them, even though they didn't love me anymore, I could tell. So I split up with them, so I released them to go and live their life. They were what makes them happy, and I think that's really important, that you just let people go sometimes, that you have to let people go out of your life, or go temporary out of your life, or go from that situation, or not be in that situation at all with someone, for their own good, or your own good. Do you know what I mean? It's good, like if you can talk around situations with people, so before you get into problems, like you've extracted yourself from that problem already, so that if you see a problem cropping up, like you can talk to someone about it. Like if you're in a relationship with someone and you see a problem coming up, maybe it hasn't totally manifested yet, but you can foresee it coming, or you've got a slight problem with or something already, it's better you talk it through, and let it, whichever way it isn't. But obviously you could be fearful of losing that person and them going away from you, but you just have to realize that if the person's meant to be on your life, they will stay in your life regardless of what happens. They will stay in your life if they're a good person to be in your life. If they're good for you, if they're no good for you, you get rid, obviously. But if they're a good person for you, like if they're like a really good friend and just things didn't work out, or like something couldn't be progressed any further, then you can just be, if you can be happy with what you've got with that person, then that's great. You can get over the other anguish part, because you've chatted to that person about it and stuff. So I think it's really important to keep communications open with people you care about, people you love and adore. But it's also important for you to have time to yourself, time out, to calm down, to be you, to just spend time with yourself, loving yourself, going off on your own life, enjoying your life, being as happy as possible, and really just loving you. The only person that's really going to love you the most in this life is yourself. Seriously. you can wish someone would love you, or you can want someone to love you and never want to be without you. But the only truly person who really ever loves you more than anything in the world is yourself. You will be with yourself forever. You will be with you till the end of time, right? I do love myself. I never get bored of me. I love my crazy personality. Far out it is. I love the quirkiness about me. I love the way I look. I love my intelligence. I love a lot of stuff about me. Can you see my insect totem in the background? Can you see it's a moth? I don't know if you saw it fluttering then. So I have an insect totem. If you don't know about spirituality, you can have like insects, which are like totems, which are like kind of like lucky charms. Well, they not necessarily, but they mean certain things, And mine's a moth. And so when I'm upset, pain, or there's change in my life happening, and I need some guidance, a moth will usually show up in my flat, which is amazing. I had an insect totem video before. So yeah, they're kind of like, oh, I need some comfort right now, or something's not gone quite right. They will just show up as well. See? Look, can you see? Oh, let's see if we can see it. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it came right up to the screen. Come on, sweet pea. Come on. It's round there now. See, it came up to the screen to see you. See, it's good luck for me, that. It's like looking after me. It's like a little angel looking after me. Do you know what I mean? I think in life we have like these little guardian angels if you're a spiritual person. Look, see? Can you see it? Oh, you can't see it because it didn't go in front of the camera. But I don't know if I can put it on some kitchen roll. Let's see if I can put it on some kitchen roll. Or put it in front of the camera. Can you go in front of the camera? I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, it was there on the kitchen roll. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, it's looking after me. So yeah, it's like Indian guys have showed up in my life when I'm upset, and I got my little insect totem looking after me. So I think it's really nice. You've got to look at positive things, little things that come into your life to make you feel better and happier and want to look after you. So yeah, I feel blessed that I've got Indian guys that show up in my life when I'm upset. The guy in the UK, stunning, beautiful guy, was just listening to me, saying a few words. Like, obviously I didn't say too much personal stuff. Can you see? Look! Wow, look! There it is. Beautiful. It's a moth. You can't really see it that much. I'm sure you could see it in the background earlier. It's really pretty. Hello. Beautiful. Can you go in front of my camera up there a bit so people can see you? Oh, I want to lift it up. I can't. It won't. You can't see it. Oh, it's beautiful. Go on my arm if you want. Yeah, I'm having a mothing good time. So yeah, so I just thought it's a miracle that the Indian guy showed up in the UK. It just goes to show that it is possible for a heteromantic guy who's Indian to be in the UK. So it gives me a little bit of hope that it's not all lost. It's not impossible for me to find one. And I wouldn't have been looking for that opportunity or looking at that person in that way, if you can see it in the background, if I'd have been in a relationship right now. So if I'd have stayed in the relationship like last month and an Indian guy turned up in my life, or if something had progressed with someone else and an Indian guy turned up, I wouldn't be thinking about an Indian guy again. But obviously now I'm single, as usual, usually, and I can think, that if an right Indian guy shows up in my life, asexual in the UK, heteromantic, then it'll be great, it'll be wonderful and beautiful. But it's tricky. It's not impossible, but tricky, as you know. It's 2014. I've been looking for that guy, seriously. But yeah, it's life's a journey. It's what you make it. I don't know if you really know, but reality is all what you make it. It's how you perceive things, how you interpret things in your life, how you interpret situations. So two people can see the exact same situation completely different ways. Completely different ways. I don't know if I can give you an example. Right, so for example, I've been really upset today, right? I've been really, really upset, in pain, crying a lot over stuff, which I'm not going to go into. I kind of like spilled all my emotions out in messages to what a person. I'm not talking about the Indian guy. The Indian guy, I gave him limited information because I don't know him that well. And it was only like I was just really talking about English guys giving up Indian guy concept for an English guy, and really, I felt like I've always had an Indian soulmate in probably knew him in a past life, and that's been very hard for me. I was talking to him because he's Indian, would understand that, and I know Indian guys, they just understand me automatically. I don't even have to know them for a long time. I instantly connect with them. I can instantly talk to them just like that. It's like they're part of my soul. It's really weird. I don't know if I was living in India years ago, or maybe, I don't know. This is really, really bizarre. Really, really bizarre. And this Indian guy in the UK, I knew instantly. I just started talking to him about, I said, oh, you may as well know that, that I've always thought I've got an Indian soulmate, and I just wanted to tell him that. Because if you don't take opportunities when they come, they just pass you by. And I don't want to be the type of person that's on my deathbed regretting anything in life, right? You don't want to be that type of person. You want to take opportunities when you see them, I'm not going to go into any relationship now, right? I'm not going to be like, I was in a relationship briefly last month. That's me done for a while. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to rush into anything with anyone because it wouldn't be right. But it's good to have opportunities, and it's good to be able to chat to someone, like talking to an Indian guy about Indian guys. It just feels so good for me. It's like someone who understands me, someone who gets me, someone who really understands the Indian aspect, because it's really hard for people to understand. Like, some people just don't get it. They're like, well, why do you like Indian guys? Why particularly Indian guys? It's just because I feel them in my soul. I feel like I've always had someone in my soul. Do you know what I mean? So I never, I never even consider a British guy might be my real true soulmate since recently, like last month. I did obviously previously with my ex, but he definitely wasn't. But, like since 2011, I haven't thought about that. So, till recently. So that's been quite a journey of discovery, and asexuality is a journey of discovery. And, even through all the upset and pain you might experience in your life, and that when the shit hits the fan, it can really hit it. I think you learn stuff about yourself. You learn life lessons. You learn your own journey. You go on different paths. Like, people can take different paths, right? You could end up going for a relationship with someone, and then your life goes this way. You could end up choosing not to go in a relationship with someone. Your life goes this way, right? Do you know what I mean? There's like everything's like can work in parallel. You can think of like life like you create your own reality. So for every action, there's a reaction. For every time you make a decision is kind of made for you. For every time you decide something, it takes you down a different path in life. So you have to decide whether the path that's in front of you is a good path to be on, or where you need to get the heck off it and do something else. You have to decide in life, if someone else is going to shove you on a path, do you really want to be on that, or do you want to go on your own path? How are you going to cope? How are you going to live? How are you going to survive? Like, I take care of myself. I live on my own, have to support myself financially, and I have to take good care of myself. When you live independent life like that, you're not living with parents, you're not living with family, you're totally living on your own. You become a lot more resilient in life. You become a lot more stronger because you're like, I can look after myself. Because I can. I don't actually need a man to look after me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself very, very well, extremely well. And the benefits of not being in a relationship and being single are huge. I can do what I want when I want, dance with who I want, kiss who I want when I want. I can love who I want. I can have feelings for whoever I want. I can have less anxiety, less pain, less stress sometimes. I can be more confident. I tend to be like, when I'm single, I tend to be more confident, more secure, more happy, more vibrant, more energetic. So there's actually a lot of positives to me staying single. A lot of positives, and I think my life can excel more sometimes as a single person. Like, like I can go anywhere in the world I want to and work if I really wanted to. Do you know what I mean? It's like I have my angel guinea pig. Actually, her name's Angel, that lives with my parents, who's diabetic. My parents are not too far away, so I still want to be here to see her, really, and I love where I live. But there's nothing to stop me going anywhere I wanted to, really, apart from I don't fly on a plane. So going abroad might be a bit of a problem. Yeah. So it's like really weird because a short time ago, I got an Indian guy who's been my friend on the internet for years. He used to want me to marry him years ago, proposed marriage like 2 or 3 messages in. Like, I only knew him over the internet, but he used to, part of his business, he used to come to the UK for. And he's always kept in touch with me. And he's married and he still likes me, even though he's married, which I don't really think is a good thing. But, you know, at least he's not going around sharing his feelings about me anymore. But, you know, like the other day, he was like, because I told him that obviously the guy last month wasn't suitable for me. And that was a bit difficult because I thought I'd find a suitable person who wasn't. So I was upset at the time. And then he was like, oh, why don't you come and live with me and my wife? So you can tell that he still really likes me and adores me. And I was like, I don't think your wife would like that very much. Do you know what I mean? So he's always liked me. He's always had an emotional attraction towards me. But I told him years ago, I can't have sex. I don't want sex. I don't want kids and I don't want marriage, you know? And I told him all that. And he's like, oh, I need marriage and I need kids and sex. I'm like, yeah, but I can't do that. He's got a beautiful, you know, he's got a wife and he's just got a kid now. But, you know, it's weird that he showed up in my life as well and came back, you know, to see if I was all right. And not this, I think it was last week. Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. But, you know, it was just to see how I was doing. And I do get offered to go to India quite a lot, actually, but I just don't fly a plane. I hate flying. So I really need an Indian guy in the UK and one who doesn't need marriage to stay in the UK. So, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, really. Like, I think you've got to look forward to all the positives, all the opportunities, all the freedom you have, all the choices that are yours to make. I think that when you've got people in your life or things or financial circumstances that feel like they're out of control, I think you need to try and get some sort of structure in your life to control them. I think you need to put some action in place. It's just all about taking action, you know. If it's financial, you have to just do things you don't want to do to make yourself financially stable. You might have to do stuff like jobs or things or sell items you don't want to sell necessarily because you've just got to pay for food, you know. You might have to sacrifice things you wouldn't usually sacrifice. You might have to change the way you are, but I think everything happens for a reason. I think you learn a lot of life lessons. Like, for example, with financial stuff, like when you've got lots of money, you tend to spend a lot more. When you've got less money, you tend to be able to live on less money and still be happy. You can still be happy on less money. So it's kind of like, you know, a blessing that you can change your life and be flexible and develop and grow yourself and change. I think it's really important, you know. Anyway, I hope this video has been useful, helpful, insightful in some way. If it has, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And, you know, when the shit hits the fan and you feel like an emotional wreck, what should you do? I just want to reiterate the final points, you know, the points again, the different sort of stages you need to go through so you understand before I end this video. One is the grieving stage, the upset, the pain, the negative emotions. You get them out, right? You just get them out, get them gone, right? So you deal with that. The second stage is you move into self-love. You feel your heart. You feel your heart. Literally put your hand on your heart. You do positive affirmations in the mirror. So you say what you like about yourself, your looks, your body. You say positive things about you being determined to succeed, whatever you do. That you're beautiful, that you're kind, that you're considerate, you care. And you have to remind yourself of all these things, because when you're in a negative frame of mind, you won't feel like these things. But you have to constantly tell yourself these things, specifically in the mirror. And then you have to give some love, compassion, kindness, caring to other people, even if it's voluntary work or just saying hello to a neighbor, giving a smile to someone, helping someone they're shopping, something like that. So you have to do that. And then you have to see all the opportunities in front of you, all the new doors that are opening. And you have to be grateful and thankful that that person set you free, however much it hurt, or you set them free, however much it hurts. And that you've got new opportunities, new doors opening in front of you. And if it's a relationship that you're no longer in, you've got to feel empowered that you're a single person, that you're happy, that you're confident on your own, that you can look after yourself well and give yourself even more self-love. Give yourself a big hug. If it's financial, career wise, you know, if it's a job you don't like, you hate, you've got problems there, you know, try and find ways of moving out that job into something else, or making the best of the job while you're in it, like looking at all the positive things while you're in it, right? If it's financial, try and work out budgeting, try and reassess all your finances and really hone down on the actual spending that you've got, and sell items if you need to pay for food, do whatever it takes to keep yourself stable, afloat, alive, healthy and well. Go to Citizens Advice if you live in the UK, or go to a charity or something if you need to use a food bank or whatever. Don't be ashamed of being on benefits if your country does benefits, you know. Just you know, take action, put some things in place, because when you're taking action and you're building momentum, it's good for you. And also focus on your projects, focus on other things, and leave behind the negativity and the problems and the issues as much as you can. Leave this situation. Don't want to be going back into that negative frame of mind. If it's an ongoing issue, you need to deal with it as it pops up, but take time out as much as possible for it. Take time out from social media. Just really love yourself and spend time with you, getting to know yourself again, getting to love yourself again, and be kind to yourself. I just want to say and give some love out to you. I want to say thank you so much for watching this channel. I love you implicitly. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for being here for me. I really appreciate all my friends. I love you dearly, and I always will. And I really want you to just feel your heart and connect with it. And I want you to love who you are implicitly, regardless of what anyone else does, says, or thinks to you. You just love yourself, and you know you're a good person at heart. I love you. Take care. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. Don't forget to give this great big subscribe button down here a great big push so you subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. If you found any of the content useful, helpful, insightful, if you think any of these tips, this stuff will help you in your life going forward, will help to make you feel better, will help you to get on with your life and progress. And, you know, just keep smiling. You have to keep smiling, being beautiful you. There will always be someone who loves you out there. Me. All right. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. And I will see you on the next live stream or video. Take care. Bye. Nice to see you. Bye.